Hollywood A-lister Ben Affleck just got cast in the role of a lifetime, Batman. Affleck will play the Caped Crusader in the upcoming Warner Brothers sequel to The Man of Steel. Twitter is insane. Everyone is talking about this. Why is this such a big deal?
Yes, well, it's interesting, no matter what the casting choice would have been here, save perhaps Ryan Gosling, you would have gotten a divisive response to this. Twitter seems to be inflamed with this news. The hashtag better Batman than Ben Affleck has been the top trending term all morning, and people are kind of throwing out names for who should have been cast instead and tweeting, snarky photos of their dogs dressed as Batman, saying that that would be a better choice than Ben Affleck. But obviously, this is a huge movie. It's Batman and Superman together. It's going to be a multi-million-dollar, intake at the box office. And so no matter what would have happened, it would have been divisive. But it's interesting that Ben Affleck, who's seen such a resurgence over the past few years in his career, is getting such a negative response to this casting decision.
Are you surprised that the response has been so negative?
Considering how much people rallied behind their disappointment that he was snubbed for Best Director at the Oscars last year, or earlier this year, I should say, for Argo, and people were so, vociferous about their feelings about, that movie and his lack of nomination, and it seemed like everybody loved Ben Affleck around just a few months ago, really. And now, I feel like responses could not be more negative. So I am a little surprised. But again, no matter who it would have been, people would have complained. This is just that kind of movie that attracts such big buzz that's the way the cards fall.
I have a funny tweet that I want to bring up. It says, apparently Ben Affleck, and it has a little cartoon under it with Batman slapping someone for saying Ben Affleck is playing Batman. Where do you stand on this? Because I had this conversation last night when I got home and found out that he was actually going to be playing Batman, and I don't see it. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, I hate to take kind of this like elitist approach to it, and I'm not a huge superhero fan when it comes to movies. I saw all the Christopher Nolan Batmans, of course, and love them, but in general, I don't flock to the theater for superhero movies. I'm just disappointed. It seems like I was such a fan of Ben Affleck's kind of more highbrow streak, I guess, with all the movies that he directed over the past few years, which I think when they first started coming, the first one was Gone Baby Gone in 2007, and then The Town, and then Argo. I think people were like, this has Ben Affleck? What? All of a sudden, this guy who did Geely and Jersey Girl and Pearl Harbor and all these very subpar movies is suddenly directing all these fantastic pieces, and he did a Terrence Malick movie, and it's just really, really seen a resurgence with the quality of his work. And not to say that this won't be a great movie, the first Man of Steel that came out a few months ago got a very lukewarm response, so we'll see how it goes. There's going to be a lot of eyes on this one, to a lot of criticism flying about. But I'm a little disappointed that it seems like, I don't know, I feel like, especially going up against Henry Cavill, I feel like you could have gotten like a slightly more up-and-coming actor, or maybe somebody who just like is a little more in tune with that genre of movies, which it seems like Ben Affleck has sort of distanced himself from over the past 5 to 7 years.